What's going on, everybody? We're back again for another spoopy episode.
Yeah.
See, very spoopy.
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. I've had a fucking slushy, and I'm not used to that amount of sugar, like this fucking close together. This is gonna be a weird episode, guys. Get ready.
Just a little bit.
Buckle up, bitches. No, I'm sorry.
Do you really want to hurt me?
I'll control my outburst. I'm sorry.
God damn it, I knew we should have gotten his Tourette's under control. So we come at you guys again with a few more spoopy stories. Again, one might be paranormal, might not be, and the other one just kind of fucked up.
It's one of those. Do you remember, sorry, off topic real quick. Do you remember, like, in middle school, like, elementary school, when they do what was that? The DARE program.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. I was like, the fucking DARE officer would be so disappointed in us right now.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Okay.
It's easy, okay?
I was watching one of those short YouTube clips, and it was the episode where Mr. Garrison trying to teach him about how weed is bad. Like,
oh, God.
He's passing around like a joint, and it goes missing. He's like, okay, children, go ahead and pass up the marijuana, okay? Like, who has the marijuana? And everybody just stays quiet. And I was like, oh, no. And then he has to go to the principal's office and he has to fucking talk to her. Like, I'm very disappointed in you, young man. I'm gonna have to suspend you. Like, are you firing me? He's like, well, I guess that is the adult term. How will I pay my bills? No. And he starts crying and goes, okay. I was like,
gotta love his MKs.
Yeah, but I was like, the fucking DARE officers would be so disappointed with everybody.
Just a little bit, but fuck it.
It's legal now.
It is, so it's not an issue. So now they gotta focus on meth and heroin and shit like that.
What's the DARE program for not doing meth?
It would still just be DARE.
DARE?
It's easy, DARE.
Don't do roofies. It's called right there.
Right.
Rare. Oh! Okay, I'm ready.
That's a publishing company.
Is it really?
Yeah, they do, they're actually the ones that did, Donkey Kong.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, there's a little known fact.
And Killer Instinct.
I don't know which one that is.
It's a great one. But let's see what you got, Mr. Duffy.
Fuck you. Okay. So, going off form for this episode, I'm actually going first. Usually we just have, we have narrator do all the like, long stories first, and then I'll come in with a short story. But we decided to flip it on this one. I've been practicing my reading skills. But
and now he's going to show you what he can do.
Alright, so this one's a bit of a longer story, so
lay it
if
on
I run
me.
out of air, or if it sounds weird, I'm going to just try to fix it on spot. I'm not the strongest reader, as I've gone over many times.
Nah, you're fine.
Alright, I'm ready. So the name of this story is The Girl Who Wouldn't Stop Laughing When She Climbed Out of the Tree and Tried to Break Into My Car at 4 a.m.
That's very interesting. Let's see what the fuck happens.
This is exactly how my last date went. Hell!
If you're listening to this, he might be joking. He might not be.
No! Oh no! I'm totally joking. It was amazing. God damn it. Alright, let's start the story. Almost a year ago, I was an opener at a resort, clocking in before 5 a.m. each day. The resort is located inside of an affluent neighborhood in a very wealthy town/suburb. Employees had to park in one or two parking lots at either end of the property, and the lot I chose was adjacent to a long and windy road outside. The resort, which leads to the rest of the neighborhood, the road and the resort were separated by a short range of brush and trees that no one ever walked through. I arrived one morning per usual and put the car into a park with my headlights still on. The light in the lot weren't I'm sorry, this is like written very terribly.
Trust me, I understand I have to correct on the fly all the time.
Yeah, it's hard for me to correct. I should have read the story beforehand. I'd arrived one morning per usual and put the car into park with my headlights still on. The light in the lot weren't ever on in the morning since no one else really showed up before 6 a.m. when the sun was out. So it was usually always dark at the start of my walk. Save for security, I was one of the first employees to arrive on the property each morning, and we usually completely alone in the particular parking lot at this time. This morning didn't seem any different. I'm gonna just correct this as I go, because it's very strange sounding, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I had my hand literally at my keys, my brain in the process to turn off my car, when I noticed a young girl, maybe like 14 or 15 years old, come scampering. Her body language was the exact definition, running with quick light steps, especially through fear or excitement. Through the span of the trees that separated the resort from the outside road, she was directly in front of my car, and my headlights illuminated a clear view of her in the pitch black. She looked like she was in high school, had long blonde hair and wearing a jacket with pajamas, maybe. Like she just walked out of a house. One thing about her that bothered me was that she wouldn't stop laughing and smiling. I couldn't hear her laughing from outside the car, but she was visually giggling at something I wasn't aware of or couldn't see. And it was so unnatural. She occasionally glanced behind her as if someone else were there waiting away from the headlights. She then waved at me like it were a normal gesture at this time, and then immediately ran to my passenger side door. This all happened in a matter of seconds. I wasn't really sure what was even happening besides my anxiety spiking. I know I simultaneously yanked the aux from my phone to shut whatever song had been playing off. While grabbing the lock button, I remember feeling panicked for never remembering if it's up or down to lock when the girl began pulling violently and inaccessibly at the door handle on the passenger side. I realized because I didn't turn my car off, it stayed locked. She began pounding on the window, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs for her to leave before pressing on my horn. I could see her laughing outside like this were some kind of game, as if I was a silly friend not letting her in as a joke. After a few seconds, she stopped the pounding, and I tried to open my car door. Her face felt like I disappointed her, and she started to walk away from my car. She waved at me again before squeezing through the trees out of view of my headlights. This whole encounter confused me almost as much as it scared me. Most people I told the story just chalked it up to her being on drugs, but the narrative hasn't felt right to me despite her behavior. Maybe she was just being an extremely odd, out-of-touch teenager whose parents need a firm grip on her. I first thought it was possibly human trafficking, but I'm not sure if that would fit this scenario, as I'm not most well-versed with the subject. I told someone when I made it to LP, but they didn't seem to care much. I didn't call the police, and I regret that. I'll never get out of my brain, though, how fucking off feeling was watching a stranger, seemingly alone, pop out of the trees in the darkness laughing and then trying to violently enter your car in an empty parking lot. I do think the possibility of someone else being present the whole time is a lot more scary, as I wonder who else was there and where exactly. TLDR, a girl wouldn't stop laughing while she breaks into my car at 4 a.m. with me inside.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Are you a huge cunt?
Us too. Wait, can we even say cunt?
Of course! It's empowering these days. Cunt, 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 cunt. I'm Ange Ballastone, aka the drag queen, That Girl Gina.
And I'm Mike Fales, just a normal gay guy, I guess?
And we're the hosts of The Big Cunty Couch,
A gorgeous new talk show podcast where we invite queers and peers to sit, bitch, and be fierce on a huge-ass couch.
while we gab about all things gay
So come get cozy
and cunty.
with us. We're panned for platforms, so find us anywhere online and get listening, sweetie.
Or watching.
Or both.
Otherwise, why the hell am I in full drag?
And we'll see you on the big... Oh, wait, I thought we were going to say that together.
No, on The Big Cunty Couch. Mwah.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting story. I'm sorry, I don't care how old you are, but if you're trying to break into my car and maniacally laughing the entire time, I'm gonna take it as a have to defend, not full on, pull out a gun, but make sure I'm ready and aware, because it could be something where that's a distraction, or you let them in and there's people hiding to bum rush and, go aid with that job.
Yeah, kind of like an ambush scenario you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if she started off in the trees and this is 4 a.m., like what the fuck is she doing out at 4 a.m. in the trees? Like at that point, that's just feels like a setup.
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to go out at like 1 a.m, but we never went to any areas that were populated or would have people. It was just always, walking down a ditch at night or going to the store to grab like snacks and shit, but never running and trying to get into people's cars while maniacally laughing and giggling and smiling.
Yeah, at that point, I would just drive away. I'd be like, well, fuck it. I'll come in later and I'll just let them know what happened. Or I wonder if they had like security cameras that caught any of that.
That's a good question. I mean, most places have security cameras, but unfortunately that doesn't always matter. Some people don't care, and others it's just they get the wrong type of camera, so all the footage they have looks like it was shot on a fucking early stage flip phone with the whole 1.5 megapixel camera.
Good point, because they said it's 2 lots and they had security. So if you have security, I assume you'd have cameras. But if you don't even have lights to illuminate that parking lot, I would assume that you wouldn't have cameras in that parking lot either. My main thing is just like if you could go back and check the video and not only see what happened, or like check to see if there's anybody hiding, because you said she kept looking back and laughing like if there's somebody else there.
Yeah, and I mean, if there were cameras, they should at least have some with decent night vision. So, I mean, I don't know. It all, I guess, depends on what they're trying to protect. But you think that'd be a place that you'd want cameras, because a lot of crimes happen in parking lots.
Yeah, plus it's a resort. Like, if you're going to have, like, the fancy aspect of, like, oh, you can stay here, you can go golfing, you can do this, and that. You have a giant swimming area. But you don't have cameras in your parking lots? That's kind of weird.
We value your safety once you're in the building. If you die before you get in here, well, then your room's forfeit.
You have to put the deposit down. If you die in the parking lot, that's on you.
The deposit is non-refundable.
Yeah, you can't stay here if you're a ghost either. You have to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll listen or she'll listen or it will listen as much. I don't know, whatever you want to refer to a ghost as. But you never know.
What would you do in that situation, narrator?
I would have, at that point, cracked my window enough so that they could hear and given a warning like, hey, trying to be funny, whatever, haha, but if this continues, then the joke will be on you, and just leave it at that. And then if they didn't leave, I would work on leaving. If it was something where they didn't let me leave, then at that point I would let them know, hey, I'm armed. This needs to end now or it's going to end very badly. I'm going to do whatever I need to keep myself safe and, hopefully keep you safe. So just get out of here.
Yeah, but at that point, I mean, I don't think this person had a gun on them if they're going to work. So you can't really, carry. Plus, you don't want to hop out the car because if there is other people there, it could be more than just one person and then you just get attacked.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of places, yes, they're anti-carry, but as long as you have your shit in your car and you're not touching it, I mean, they're not going to say anything.
Yeah. But I mean, for this scenario, if you're doing the exact same scenario as this person.
I'd be carrying, though.
But, when we go to work, we don't carry when we go to work. Just imagine that situation.
Or do we?
I don't think we do. They do regular sweeps of the building in cars, so I make it a point not to carry when I go to work. But, say that scenario, you have to open up at 4 a.m. by yourself. You pull into the parking lot, and then there's somebody, sitting on the wall, the wall we have separating the wall from the street.
Yeah.
Just, sitting there, kind of, crouching on the other side of the wall, and then you're in your car, you pull up, and then they run to your door, and they start, laughing and banging on the door hard. Just trying to get in to your car door. What do you do there?
Well, I mean, I would tell them that they have about 10 seconds to get away or we'd have an issue. And if they don't leave in that time, then I'd be ready to throw some hands or some people.
That's the thing, though. Same thing. Like, if they're laughing, looking behind the wall, and then, like, looking back at you.
Oh, yeah, so I'd have my keys on me so I could easily lock and unlock with the remote the car. I'm one that's always aware of my surroundings, so if something weird happens, I'm looking every mirror, every direction, watching my peripheral vision, like I don't leave any stone unturned, and I'd make sure my back is towards the building. That way I have a full view of that wall.
So you're still getting off the car?
I would warn them, and if they didn't leave, then yes, I would get off the car. Nine times out of 10, I mean, if I had to, I'd use my tablet as a weapon and then charge them for it if it broke.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Like, say in this scenario where you do get off the car, she runs to the other side of the car and, like, holds the door open, and then you have people jump over the wall, like 6 or 7 of them. You're a strong guy, but I don't think you can take out 6 or 7 dudes at the same time.
No, but if it's just one lady that's standing in between me and getting back in the car, because I would still stick on that side by my door.
Yeah.
I wouldn't back up against the building wall. I would be by my door, but facing their wall with my back to the building. So, you know, there's nothing that can come from behind me at that point. So if I see people coming and her running around, I'm sorry, lady or not, you're putting my life in danger. I'm going to knock you the fuck out. So she's getting knocked out, and then I'm getting back in and taking off.
I'm not even going for a knockout, dude. I'm going for a fucking throat punch.
Oh no, I'm straight, like knockout. Whatever happens, but you're eating the floor.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, as soon as you go for the punch, and like they hear you. Like, she runs to the side, but she yells. So these dudes clearing up, so they're jumping. So you have to make a quick punch, and then you have about like 5 seconds to get back in your car and lock it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my remote for my car would be in my hand. So at that point, as soon as I get in, just hit the lock button, then start it and take off.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the nice thing, like, about the car I have now, if I just, if I go to get out, that side doesn't unlock. Only the driver's side does.
Yeah.
The other side stays locked unless I hit the unlock button. But if I open my door, then the other door stays locked. So that's kind of that barrier.
See, my car doesn't do that. My car, as soon as I shut it off, I put it in park and I shut it off, all the doors open. So that's an issue already.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'd just be keeping your hand on that button.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. But like I say, even if she tries like open the door and hops in and I see people coming, I'm taking off with her in the car. And I'll fucking deal with her there. She's gonna get choked out.
I mean, that or just as you're driving, grab her and throw her out the window, just roll it down.
Make a quick turn so she flies out.
Yeah.
And just get off and kick the shit out of her. Like a boy named Sue.
Like I said, it doesn't matter your age, your gender. If you're coming at me in a threatening manner and trying to plot something, you're no different than anyone else. You're getting treated the same way as any other threat.
I like that version of a boy named Sue, though. So I pulled up to my warehouse job in my car. Crazy lady jumps off the wall. I kick the shit out of her while her friends run towards me. Yeah, no, but that's...
And then I run them over while I'm backing up.
That's terrifying, though.
It is.
At 4 in the morning, crazy lady laughing in pajamas and runs. I mean, we live in Arizona. It's kind of common.
Yeah, you see a lot of weird shit here, but I don't think anything on that level. Like, I've had people just randomly laughing, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what you think of mine. So for mine, we're going a little old school.
Oh no, Prospector times.
Yes.
Prospector horror stories.
So, in the 1970s, a woman named Dorothea Puente ran a boarding house for elderly and disabled individuals in Sacramento, California. She was known for her kindness and generosity, but behind closed doors, she was committing heinous crimes. Over the course of several years, she lured vulnerable individuals into her boarding house, promising them a safe and comfortable place to live. However, once they were under her care, she began to steal their social security checks and eventually murder them. She would poison her victims with lethal doses of drugs or strangle them with a rope. She would then bury their bodies in her backyard, often disguising them with quicklime to accelerate decomp. The murders went undetected for years until a social worker became suspicious of the high number of deaths at the boarding house. After a thorough investigation, police discovered the bodies of 7 victims buried in the backyard. She was eventually arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder. She was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, where she died in 2011. Her story is a chilling reminder of the dangers of trusting others blindly and the evil that can lurk behind seemingly kind and caring fake aides.
See, that's crazy because you go to these places, like, to help the elderly. Like, all the families there, they're not putting them there because, like, oh, just kick the shit out of them. And
An example is St. Luke's.
Yeah. Where let's clarify.
It's a good example,
Yes,
like what they should be doing.
Yes, exactly. What they should be doing, like taking care of the residents, making sure that they're getting enough, like, exercise and they have as much activities that they can properly handle.
Yeah.
And then they give them to roam around, like clean rooms and all that living. Shout out St. Luke's. But then you have people like this that they're just doing it to take advantage of people. Like, I'm gonna steal all their shit. I'm gonna fucking take their social security. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of them.
Yep. Oh, they can't do anything,
I'm gonna
so
kill
fuck
them.
them.
I'm gonna wreck it.
Right? Yeah, she was the real Wreck-It Ralph of the 70s.
No, she wasn't. Wreck-It Ralph had a heart of gold. You just misunderstood. This bitch is evil. But I don't see. That's the thing, though. That's what's terrifying, because you never really know what's going on. And then, like, if they do tell their families, like, oh, they're beating me and all that, some families put them there because they are an inconvenience to them, which is super fucking shitty.
Yeah, and then they just don't believe it. They're like, well, no.
Oh, you're crazy.
Yeah, you just want to get out of there.
Or then the people at work, they're like, oh no, the bruises, they fell or something like that. No, they're lying. They got dementia. They're going crazy.
They ran into a door.
Repeatedly. Like, it's like that fucking, what is it, that orderly from Happy Gilmore. You will go to sleep,
yes.
or I will put you to sleep.
Yes. That's kind of this, but it was the owner of the boarding home.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy. That evil bitch.
People don't realize.
Did you go to prison for that? Oh,
Okay, she went, and then she died in prison. She was sentenced to life.
Okay, I was about to say, I would assume you'd get death row for that, but I guess not.
Yeah, it's like I said, my whole thing is, however, if you were just out there killing people, then whatever you did to them should be done to you. That's what I think. You know, we're wasting all this money. Like, okay, I get it. Theft, drug charges, shit like that. Okay, if you want to put people in jail, put people in jail. But murder, rape, all that shit, no. Have the motherfucker get raped and then shoot him. Same thing with a murder.
See, that's where I stand with that as well. I see the point of them, like, oh, we're getting a life sentence. You're basically paying for their fucking boarding and house. You're feeding them. Nothing really happened. Like, I get they don't get the freedom that other people get, and the food isn't good and all that, and the beds are uncomfortable. Like, I get that, but at the same time, it's basically the state babying you, like, taking care of you. And then I see the point where, like, people will be like, no, give them the death penalty, kill them. And other people will be like, no, keep them on death row, because then they have to live their life in prison. It's bad to be in prison, but it's not worse than being dead.
When it's like, once you're in there too, you can make a name for yourself. You can have luxuries. You can, you know, shit can be easy for you in prison.
And the other thing too is like the fucking, like the rapists and the chomos and all that shit, where they put them in protective custody. Fuck that. Put them in Gen Pop.
Yeah.
They're fucking monsters. They didn't think about what they're doing to other people. It's like, fuck it. Don't protect them. Let them get fucking stabbed. Let them get killed. Let them get raped.
Yeah. And I mean, it's the same thing with, you know, anyone that murders people, especially kids. Like,
yeah.
Kids have no way to defend themselves. They didn't do anything. Like, yes, I get it. Kids misbehave. I got 5. They misbehave all the time, but I've never been like, ooh, I want to kill you for that. Like, no, that's never
Power
been.
bomb.
Yeah, that's never even been a thought. Like, the most I think is, okay, I think you definitely need an ass whooping, but we'll see how wall sits work.
Yeah. That's the fucking thing though. Like, I don't understand. Even like with like the death sentence, they still give them like lethal injection. That's the preferred method, right?
Yeah, but I think they're working just because of how that's been happening botched. They're working on, I thought they were saying bringing back hangings and possibly you don't even need firing squad. There's people out there that will be more than happy to just go and shoot those people in the head.
How do you get onto a firing squad? Is that all volunteer work, or do you have to be like a CO there, or what's going on?
No, I believe you have to be like a CO, but then I think it's
voluntarily from there.
Yeah, voluntarily, unless no one goes, and they probably pick at random. Because I mean, it's got to be someone that mentally is going to be okay to take someone's life.
Just one dude with a shotgun named Bubba.
That's all they fucking need. Don't even need that. If they want to make it where, they don't know it's coming, have a Marine sniper do the shit.
A dude named Leroy with a cutlass.
Yeah, have him, sit 600 yards away. They won't see it coming. They'll hear a quick pop, and then they're done.
Just put him on the rec yard and be like, oh, yeah, no. The governor says you have an hour of free time. Just bam!
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think should be done. Because
honestly, I think that like murderers and like fucking rapists, when they do get like the death row for shit, it shouldn't be humane. Like, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are like, oh, well, that's cruel. It's like, they're cruel. They don't deserve mercy. And death row is them getting a fucking form of mercy. Like, some people that do murder somebody, they regret it, and then they try to turn their life around. I don't believe that shit either. To turn your life around in prison, like, well, I mean, you got nowhere else to go. Of course, you're gonna try to like find a higher power to kind of like force your life into like, oh, well, that was old me, new me, is this. Like, no, I don't give a shit. You found God, that's cool and all that, but you're still gonna die.
A lot of times too, the murderers and stuff, they don't change their life. I mean, there's people that, going on drugs and they don't get to turn their life around.
Oh yeah.
But again, those people, lock them up, send them to fucking rehab, do something. But I mean, prison should only be for, your typical, I think, low to mid-level crimes, but anything like chomo, rape, fucking human trafficking, murder, shit like that. No, we should do what China did, and they did it for someone that, smuggled in weed. It was too much for them. They took him out back, shot him, plain and simple.
See, that's where I've like.
I mean, we shouldn't do that for weed, but I mean, for all these people that the murders and shit.
Murder
just
and rape should be that.
Take them out back and shoot them.
That's what it should be for.
Yeah, not for drugs. No, that's way too much.
Drugs and like DUIs and shit. And theft, I understand that's bad, but not to the extent of having to get.
Yeah. Oh no. Shot. No, for sure. It's like I said, for me, the kill them thing is for the murderers, chomos, rapists, fucking traffickers.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, you want to take a life? Well, you shouldn't have yours. If you want to forfeit other people's and not give them the choice, then it should be the same for you.
That's the sad part, though, is like even prison, I get that they try to give them like what is it? It's like Department of Corrections, but then they changed it now to it's like Department of Corrections or Rehabilitation, so it's like DOCR now.
But we're America. In nowhere in these prisons do they actually try and rehabilitate anybody.
That's the thing. Like, no matter, like, we've come across people that they're be like, oh, I was a fucking druggie on the outside, and now I'm clean, like 3 years clean. I talk at meetings. I lead my prayer group and all that. And then, boom, they'll be back in prison like fucking 2 months.
We've actually had personal experiences with that happening, so.
And the other one was that dude that he's like, oh, I'm getting clean. I'm getting my life turned around. It's like, he was a good guy. Like, I'll say it. He was a good guy. He got out, and then his girlfriend got him back into that shit. And I think she OD'd, and then he had fucking got high, and then he drove his motorcycle, and he crashed, and he ended up dying. So that one was a big bummer to hear that, but I mean, at the same time, I'm not going to feel too bad for it. Like, yeah, your life is it was fucked up, but guess what, buddy? Everybody's life's fucked up. Everybody has something they have to deal with. You just have to choose which way you fucking cope with it.
Yeah, you make your decisions on how your life is. You can make your life as good and happy as you want, or as miserable as you want. That's a lot of people don't realize, but every aspect of our life, besides when we die, is a choice that we make.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing, though. Like, with prison and people like that, it's very hard for anybody to really make a change. Because you do have that support system in prison. Not even a support system. It's just that you're put on a strict watch. You're restricted to what you can and can't do. When you get out, they end up getting like that fucking freedom and they start going crazy with it. But then as soon as they're out, they're gonna fuck up and come right back.
Yeah, I don't know. But I will, I'll leave this one on. In a way, it all kind of comes back to mental health. You know, if you're feeling off, you're feeling weird about yourself, you're thinking of, harming yourself, get in contact with the hotlines, get in contact with someone, because, trying to do that kind of shit and, do that to yourself. Yes, it might make your life easier, but, it's going to destroy your family and a bunch of other people. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's better to get the help that you need now than it go on further.
I agree. So I think we'll end this one here with those little messages, and we'll come back for another one.